Welcome to Hatrick's weekly race guide. And this week we have a very interesting series of races. Race A is at Lake Louise in the Toyota, and Race B is at Circuit de Barcelona, the GP layout with no chicane in the Group 3s. And Race C is the Trial Mountain Circuit. But in what car, I hear you ask? Well, let's watch the video and we'll find out. So we are in the Toyota GR, and it's just like the time trial from a few weeks back. We are at Lake Louise in Canada, and we're watching Wind, who of course is one of the fastest drivers in the world, as he comes round to take the first few corners. It's quite a combination. Be ready for an awful lot of contact, but let's watch this master in motion as he does his lap time. We'll go right to the start. So here he comes. The in-car footage, I think, is quite a good one here. So braking just before that sign on the left there, letting the car run out wide, almost hitting the barrier, and then keeping going. And you want to hit those kind of adverts by roughly about 15 seconds to get a good time, and then right the way across to the right-hand side, backing off on the left so you can get a really good exit. Look at that, it's a great exit. Coming round the right-hander at round about 29 seconds, and the first sector as a 31.1, which is very good indeed. And then you come to the barrels on the right, and just at the end of those, that's where Wind braked. He's still remaining in third gear. I don't know if there's a bit of handbrake or not, but he let the car glide out beautifully, and then over onto the left, virtually touching that wall, and then right through there and right through the post there, but didn't get a penalty, so carried on, and then down the hill, and then heading to this long right-hander, almost hitting the barriers on the right of the wee post, but just missing them with a 102.7 for the second sector, and then aiming for that last lamp post, and then he goes into fourth, and he's going roughly at 1 minute 12 as he comes out of there, and on to the left-hand side, and accelerating out beautifully, and then braking nice and early into second gear, and then back up into third. Car runs wide, but it's always going to do that, trying to accelerate to get a nice neat line, and then setting it up for the last corner, and a beautiful bit, nice and smooth, and then away onto the start finish straight to do what I'm sure is going to be a brilliant time. Second fastest in the world at the time of recording, a 143.146. It's Race A, a very exciting combination. Let me know if you plan on racing it and what kind of time you'll be able to achieve if you've already set a time for Race A. Let's get to Race B and see who's the fastest and watch the best replays for Race B at Catalunya. And welcome to Race B this week, which is at Catalunya, and we're going to watch the number one driver, or certainly was second in the world with a video with a replay, Laporte, and he's in the Toyota Group 3, which is the Supra, and let's see how he does it. Now it's 4 laps at Barcelona with tyre wear 1 and fuel 1, so you don't have to worry about any of that. I think it could be really quite a good fun race actually. Here he comes through turn 3, accelerating nicely out of the corner there. Now where will he brake? He's right out, almost over the curbs, just before the bridge. He changes into first and then up into second, so using plenty of engine braking, a little bit of correction there, over to the right for this tricky hairpin, right down to first gear, then back into second, and then it skids a little bit up into third. Here we are over to the right curb there, making sure you don't take too much of it, and then flat out using plenty of curb on the right, and then up onto the back straight, that long right-hander into fourth gear, accelerating away and nicely getting through past the penalty lines there, and braking at roughly the 100 board mark, and then he gets it nicely tucked in to the left-hander. Of course, that's slightly different than the new circuit because it's a much easier corner. It doesn't have such a long hairpin, or such a tight hairpin, keeping it into the right-hand bend on the plenty of curb, but this time no chicane. Oh, he's taking the cones as he goes through that, and then this is a tricky bit. You're going to try and get a bit of curve so you can get good acceleration out, But if you can aim for a good time, and that will be a 1:38.9, which was actually very, very good indeed. So that's Barcelona on Daily Race B. Let's get to Daily Race C and see what it's like. For race C, we're at Trial Mountain, and this is the range of cars that you have. So it's all kind of sports cars, all kind of rear-wheel drive coupes and some supercars in there as well, and it looks like a lot of fun indeed. It's 7 laps, and let's see who's the fastest out there with a great replay and see how to get a great time. This is Maraglino in the BMW M3. And he is the fastest in the world at the time of recording. And let's see what kind of time he is going to do. He's in 5th gear as he comes over the crest, keeps it in 5th gear, 115 miles an hour, running it nice and wide, breaking it down into 3rd gear, and then holding a nice line over to the left. Now this is fuel 1 and also tyre wear 1 as well, so you don't have to worry too much about tyre wear or fuel. It's really going to be a sprint for 7 laps, and it looks a lot of fun actually. He's holding a nice line there through the tunnel and then turning in nice and early. Look how much sand, he takes all the sand he can get and still powers out nicely out onto the straight in another tunnel and on up the hill. It's a nice sound from this BMW, very accurate interior picture there, even including the roll cage, which looks like it's shaking away as they come down the hill into the long hairpin. Where's he going to brake? Let's see, just before the yellow sign there, a few meters before, and then nice, hogging that inside line, accelerating out beautifully just to touch that blue curb. He takes a little bit more of this right hand curb, straightens it up, and then down into 3rd gear, and then takes a lot of yellow and blue curb there, runs it out really nicely actually down there, over to the right hand side, stays in, goes down into 2nd gear and into 3rd, beautifully accelerating out on the curves. You can hear it there if you're listening on the podcast. Out down into 5th gear and then braking about halfway through that curb into the last chicane. The left hander taking a bit of the sausage there as well, and then over to the right, hitting that apex beautifully. Little bit of power sliding right next to the wall. My goodness me, we're almost touching the wall, and there he goes across the line in a 2 minutes and 1.194, and that was the fastest time available. This looks like a really good combination actually, a real fun combination. I definitely give it the thumbs up. But please let me know what race you'll be doing and what times you've set and what you think of the content. And of course tomorrow morning we'll be streaming from roughly about 9:30 to 10 o'clock onwards, and hopefully up to about lunchtime. But thanks very much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe or leave a like, and you're welcome to leave a comment too. But take care everyone, and I'll see you next week. Well, I'll see you before then if you watch us on the stream. But drive fast and drive your bus even faster. Bye just now.